Thanks for joining my Amazon e-commerce workshop. In this video, I'm going to show you few basics of Amazon selling. So I'll be covering about GST and HSN code and what are the expenses involved in e-commerce business and how Amazon commission structure works and how to register yourself as a seller on Amazon. To sell on Amazon, GST is mandatory. But if you are planning to sell non-GST items like books, then GST is not required. But I would highly recommend you to take a GST because we can figure out more hot selling products and sell more. In GST, there are two types of GST. One is composite dealer, another is regular dealer. So if you are planning to take a new GST, inform your auditor that you want to go with regular dealer because composite dealer are not eligible to sell on Amazon. Only if you have a regular dealer GST, you are eligible to sell on Amazon. Next is HSN, Harmonized System of Nomenclature. So it may seem a jargon for you, but it's very simple. Each and every product is associated with the HSN code and a tax percentage. Okay. So for this, there is a website called cleartax.in. I personally follow this website and clarify all my queries here. But whenever you are procuring a product from a supplier, he will share you an invoice. In the invoice, you will have the tax percentage and HSN code. So there is no need for you to go and hunt like this. But for backup purpose, please save this website. I have mentioned the link below this video also. So here you can search using HSN code and find out the tax percentage, or you can search using any keywords. For example, let me type plastic beads and click on search. Once I click on search, I will be getting all the HSN code, tax percentage related to this plastic beads. So this is the tax percentage. For example, 12, right? So 12 is the GST percentage of this particular commodity. So this is the way that you can do. I repeat, all these details will be in your procurement invoice, whatever you are purchasing from the supplier. So don't worry how to figure out the supplier, etc. I will be covering all these in the workshop. This is just for understanding purpose only. Now, so this is all about GST and HSN. The next topic and a very interesting topic that many people ask me is expenses in e-commerce business. So the first primary expense is that for each and every product that you are selling on Amazon, Amazon is going to debit you some commission charges. And there is a commission structure for it, so which I will be covering up in the next subdivision. So there is a detailed structure, I will be covering it. The second thing is shipping cost or FBA cost. There are many types of shipping costs available like easy ship, self ship, FBA. And again, I am giving a brief overview only here. All these will be covered in the workshop. To brief, whenever you are purchasing any product from Amazon, you will be getting the product through courier and there is a shipping cost involved. So you are going to bear the shipping cost. So this is one of the major expenses in Amazon business. So first is the Amazon commissions, second is the shipping cost, and third is stationery or packing. So what do I mean by this means? There may be a chance that we have to print some labels for the courier. Of course, courier guys will have a label at the top of each and every parcel. They will read it, they will scan it. So that label cost is there, right, which is very, very smaller amount. But I have included that as stationery or packing charges. So packing charges means you will have to procure packing covers. Okay. So in that case, I mentioned it as packing charges. You will have to procure courier covers, you will have to procure cello tapes, you will have to procure carton boxes. Those come under this packing. Stationery involves small things like A4 sheet, or you may go step out to a printer shop and take a printout. So all these will come under stationery charges. And next is return cost. To give you a brief on return cost, I believe that you should be a person who has purchased already on online websites like Amazon. Consider that I have purchased a shirt and it is not fitting me. What I am going to do is that I will go to Amazon and say, hey, I am not okay with this because of the size issue. So this is considered as customer return. Customer is returning the product because he or she does not like the product or it is not fitting or there is some quality issue or any other reason. In that case, there is something called return cost that Amazon is going to debit from us. And if you are making more returns, consider that for one particular product you are getting many returns. You have sold 10 products, and if you are getting 8 returns, then that means it is of a bad quality. So you have to control the returns that is manageable from our side. So we have some cost called return cost. And next is miscellaneous. So why did I mention this word miscellaneous means? There are many reasons that something may go wrong. For example, consider that you have purchased some 10 pieces of stock and kept in your warehouse. When your supplier is shipping parcel to you, there could have been some damages like 1 or 2. So this will come under miscellaneous. Anything that is unexpected is possible in any business, so that I have classified as miscellaneous. Though this is not mandatory or it is not necessary that it should come, there are some chances. Let me give you a small scenario. I had stocks in one of the warehouse, and we had some big rainfall in Chennai. It was few years before. So because of that, some of my toys product got damaged. So at that time only I understood the procedure to store products properly, because initially I stored it in my home itself, and I came to know that there was some leakages, and because of that my parcel got damaged. So mostly after then I started using only Amazon warehouse for storing my products. So I'll be explaining what is Amazon warehouse FBA in the workshop. So don't be confused what I'm using all those jargon words. Everything will be covered in the workshop. But I'm sharing you some idea about the miscellaneous expenses, which are nothing but some unexpected expenses. And next is GST filing. And I have mentioned a word called if any. The reason is that each and every month people will be filing GST. If you have a GST number, you have to file GST return, saying government that these are the purchase, these are the returns, or these are the sales, like that. And there are many people who do it themselves, and I actually do it with the help of auditor. So it is up to you whether you are taking GST filing by yourself or you are hiring an auditor. So people will be charging around 500,000 per month. This is one of the constant expenses for your business. So these are the various expenses involved in the e-commerce business. Now I'll be sharing you how Amazon commission structure works. I have separated this into 3 different types Amazon commission structure. One is referral fees, another is closing fees, another is shipping fees. So let me click on this referral fees. Referral fees is based on category wise. There are many categories. I have just taken a snapshot of one category. For example, for the books category, there will be 2% of referral fees charged when the price is less than 250. And if the price is greater than 1000, it will be 13%. So this is called referral fees. It is based on categories. In some categories, you will have the price lab. And this image or this structure will actually vary month on month. Amazon will intimate us saying that the commission structure is increased. Okay. So this is for idea purpose. There is a referral fees based on the category. There is one more fees which is based on the pricing, which is called fixed closing fees. Consider that you are selling a product between 0 to 250. There will be 5 rupees of fixed closing fees. Okay. So easy ship, prime, self ship are the various methods of fulfillment. So I will be explaining you what is easy ship, self ship, FBA in the workshop. So just sharing this for understanding purpose. So fixed closing fees is based on the price slab. And next we have one more fees called shipping fees. And I would have mentioned it as shipping fees or FBA fees. In case you are using easy ship, this is the shipping fees chart. In case you are using FBA, there are some other calculations done which is called Kitna Milega calculator, and this also I will be sharing you in the workshop. On brief to say, there are 3 different charges. One is referral fees, another is closing fees, another is shipping charges or FBA fees. So whenever you sell a product, these 3 charges are debited from your side. So if you are making a successful transaction, after debiting all these amount only, Amazon is going to pay you. So next we have the basic thing, like how you can register yourself as a seller on Amazon. So to register on Amazon, we need GST, PAN card, bank details. So now I am going to share you walk through the step-by-step process of doing it. And I repeat again, in case you are planning to sell non-GST items, then GST is not required. So this is actually a pre-recorded video, so where I'll be walking you through the entire process of how to do a registration. Before starting this, I just want to make one thing clear. If you already have an Amazon Seller Central account, don't try to create multiple accounts. Okay, that is the reason I already have a pre-recorded video and I'm walking through it. Okay, because when you create more than one account, when you create multiple accounts, Amazon will ban you. They will say that you are creating duplicate accounts and they will ask you an explanation. So please don't do that. And let me play this video. It will be very easy and I will be explaining you one by one. It is as simple as doing a Facebook account. So this URL, this particular URL is below this video. So make sure that you are clicking on this video and you will be navigated to a page like this. Here, click on create your Amazon account since we don't have the account. Enter your exact name, enter the mobile number. Though the email is optional, enter the email address and enter the password. So I am entering all the details here, and for security reasons I will skip on to the next page because I will hide the mobile number and I will hide the password. So once it is done, you will get a text message to get the OTP. So once it is done only, you will come to this particular page. You actually don't need an email address, but I would highly recommend you to add an email address to this Seller Central account. And not only that, try to have a separate email ID. Don't confuse it with your office or other businesses because you may get lot of notifications from Amazon. It will be easy for us to track all the details. In the next page, you have to enter your company or business name exactly as per GST records. So in case you don't have a GST, just enter your company name. If you have a GST, go to the GST PDF file and enter the same name and agree to the terms and click on continue. Once you have done, it will be navigated to the next page. So it is actually verifying all the details here. So once this is done, it will go to the next page. Here we have to again enter the number and click on send SMS. Here we have to enter the store name. Once you enter the store name, you can click on check availability to check the availability of the store. And the store name is available means you can proceed, else make changes in the store name. And one more thing, anytime you can change the store name, so don't spend a lot of time in this. How many ever times you want, you can change the store names. Now next is that you have to select a product category, and it is not necessary that you can sell in only one category, or once you select a category you cannot change. Everything is changeable. Just select one basic category here. I have selected here as books for dummy purpose. So now enter the pin code, address line 1, 2, etc. In case you are entering a wrong detail, it will throw you a pop-up. Now I have entered the wrong details here and it will be throwing me error. Actually this address is not proper, this address is not proper. So make sure that you are entering the exact address. Don't do any mistake here, and there is no problem if you do mistake also, we can change it in the future. So for security reasons, I will be pausing the video and I have entered the address, and after entering the correct address, I have clicked on continue so that the process is working perfectly for me. In the next page, it will be asking how you want to ship the products. FBA, Easy Ship, Self Ship. I repeat, I will be covering all these three modes in the workshop. You can check out whether your PIN code is serviceable or not by entering your PIN code and clicking on verify. Once this is done, the next page will be navigated. Here, it will ask us to enable two-step verification, which means you will get an OTP to your mobile number every time you log into your account. So in case you are sharing your username password with someone, then also we need this OTP. So please enter your number, or you can go with this Authenticator app where you will download an app and you will get code every time. It's up to you whether you are selecting a phone number or Authenticator app. Please do this, complete this process. Only after this your account will be enabled. So just select the option and then it will come to this particular page. Just click on don't require OTP on this browser and click on the enable two-step verification. Once this is done, you are all set and you are going inside this particular Amazon Seller Central, and here you will have to enter all your bank details, GST number, etc. So this is the backend panel. We are all set and we are all in. So in the workshop, I'll be sharing you how you can enter all these details, how you can go and figure out your GST details, how you can enter it, how you can enter your bank details. So what is this backend is exactly like, etc. But once you have completed this step, you are all set and your Amazon seller account is actually opened. Now you can save your username and password and log into this account anytime you want. And make sure that you are not sharing your username password with anyone. This is what I thought of sharing, and so make sure that you're joining the workshop live because I'll be sharing you all the valuable information. See you inside the workshop.